Would you like to make a deeper connection with your audience than you've ever felt before? If so, watch this entire clip. If you've gone through my original 52speakingtips.com site, you probably picked up this lesson, but it's much easier to understand if you can see it. In fact, I don't even need to set this up because the video will take you through the entire process and you'll get the lesson and the test you can use to deepen that audience connection. Ready? Here you go. Heather, how you doing?
Good.
Heather has volunteered for me twice now, but her hand was the only one I saw. Okay, Heather, here's what I want you to do. I want you to pretend that this is your audience, and I want you to find out how many of them have ever been to Baltimore. Okay, your stage. That would be today.
As a child, I lived in a place called Havre-de-Grace, which is near a large city. That would be Baltimore. How many of you are from Baltimore?
Okay, good. Stop right there before you go into a keynote. Very well done. Would you like a tool that you can use to make a deeper connection with your audience than you ever felt before? Yeah. Say yes. Yeah. Okay. Then this is a slight edge principle, which means it's a slight change in the way you do things. But if you do it throughout your entire program, trust me, it's going to have a difference on how your audience feels your message. When your audience members leave your speech, hopefully at the end, do you want them to leave thinking, wow, I really felt like I was part of a group? Or do you want them to leave thinking, whoa, it really felt like Heather was speaking directly to me?
That's the one I want.
What do you want, A or B?
B.
B. How many people did Heather just speak to? Yeah. How many people should she speak to? One. So let's do this. How can Heather rephrase her question to make it sound grammatically like she's speaking to one rather than to 198? Bob?
Have you been to Baltimore?
Have you ever been to Baltimore? Raise your hand. Could you, would you, should you, singular. Write this down. Speak to one, but look to all.
Mom, can you write that on my pad as well?
Speak to one, but look to all. Let me tell you, it drives me crazy. Too many speakers are speaking to too many people too often. And you'll hear them because they're saying things like ladies and gentlemen, and friends, and folks, and followers. You might as well be saying friends, Romans, countrymen. Stop! Speak to one. You say, well, Craig, is it really that big of a deal? I mean, it's only one question. Yes, it is that big of a deal because it manifests in other ways. For example, have you ever heard a speaker say, now some of you might be thinking, you ever heard something like that? Guess what? There's no some of you. Now you might be thinking. Feel the difference? All right. Have you ever heard a speaker say, now many of you probably came to the conclusion, you ever hear something like that? Guess what? There's no many of you. Now just in case you came to the conclusion, feel the difference? Speak to one, but look to all. Now I'm going to give you a test. This is something that you can do to make sure that you're speaking to one, but looking to all. It's what I call the hallway test. So Heather and I, here's how it goes. If you can walk by one person in the hallway and you can say it, then you can take it up on stage. So Heather and I, we're going to just walk by each other in the hallway and just see what happens. How many of you have ever been to Baltimore? Unless she's civil, we got a problem. Now, watch this. We're going to walk by each other again. Let's see what happens. Have you ever been to Baltimore?
Yeah, I used to live near.
Havre-de-Grace. Now, you see the difference? If I can say it there, I can take it up on stage. Now, I got to say something. Please don't get mad at me, but this is a mistake I made about a month ago. You know, I'll be honest with you. I don't necessarily always look at what people are wearing. And I brought a person up on stage who now I know had like really low cleavage and was what they tell me well endowed. And so when I did the walk by with her, she was short. So when I walked by, I said, how many of you have ever been to Baltimore?
You know that's a package deal, right?
So I realized my mistake. And so when we came back, I did it like this. Walk by me again. How many of you have ever been to Baltimore? I wasn't making a mistake twice. Okay, so you got the lesson. Go ahead and rephrase your question.
Have you ever been to Baltimore?
Give her a hand. Very good. All right. Thank you, Heather. That was great. Thank you. Another hand for Heather. You see how Heather looked back? There really is no problem.